right, some quick questions. Where are you right now listening to this? Are you commuting to work? Maybe you're sitting on your couch and you're debating whether or not you got enough energy to do some work for yourself tonight on your craft towards your dreams. If this is you, you're in the right place. My name is Qwest, and welcome to Don't Quit Your Night Job. Here, I just want to encourage you not to quit your night job. Your night job is anything that you are passionate about and want to get off the ground. Look, I've been there. I've wanted to quit many times because it can seem daunting trying to juggle so many different tasks. Look, I was a husband, now I'm a widow. I'm a full-time father, full-time caregiver. I'm a full-time band director. But yet I'm still passionate about producing and composing because I want to hear my stuff on TV. I want to hear it in advertisements. I want to see it in films. So I can't quit. And I don't want you to quit on your passion either. So let's get started. All right, first off, we're going to lean forward and we're going to say the quiet part loud enough to be heard in the back. You do not need to quit your main job in order to pursue your passion in this music. And I know that goes against all of the traditional and motivational things that people say. Hey, go all in, man. Don't have no backup plan, man. You got this. You're going to figure it out. But to be honest, for many of us, that's the worst decision we can make. Because the moment we quit our main job, our creativity suffers. Because now we're going to be focused on rent, bills. We're going to be focused on groceries. We're going to be focused on our family needs, them clothes, the shoes, man, the school fees. We're going to be focused on stress. And that's not good for our creativity. It doesn't make better music as a whole. And here's what I've noticed from producers and composers that are trying to get into sync licensing is that usually creativity or talent, that's not the issue. Time is not even the issue. Usually the biggest issue with them is structure. They won't have structure in their lives. And that makes it difficult for them to have structure in their music as well. All right, alongside structure, another issue is consistency. See, many people, they'll wait till inspiration hit and then they'll decide, okay, I'm gonna do some work. Rather than setting goals and putting the work in. They treat their passion, this music, like it's a hobby, rather than treating it like a job, your night job. Get it? So you turn on your DAW, then you sit down and be like, what am I gonna work on tonight? You look up, an hour that went by, you haven't made a beat, you haven't wrote a lyric, you haven't recorded a lyric. But if you treated this like a job and you clocked in, you would literally show up knowing what the task is at hand and what has to get done. That's how you set a goal. You can't sit here and treat this like it's an inspiration because at that point it's just a hobby and that's exactly where it's gonna stay. You have to treat this like a job where you know I have to get this work done in order to be successful. And that's exactly why we're here. Your craft, your dream is your night job and you don't need to quit it. You need to treat your nights like they matter. All right, so let's talk about this idea of music being a hobby. You know, hobbies are cool. Like everybody should have a hobby, but understand hobbies are optional. So if you want your night job to become your career, understand careers have expectations. So if you asking yourself, do I feel inspired to work tonight? You should be asking yourself, am I scheduled to work tonight? Because when you make your passion, your night shift, that's going to shift your mindset. And I'm not talking about grinding nonstop either. I'm talking about something realistic. What if you can work 2 to 3 nights a week for 2 hours at a time on a realistic plan? This is now your night job. You are expected to show up to work and not call out. That's it. You will already be ahead of most people. And yeah, some nights will be rough. You will be tired. Your ideas won't hit. You will question why you're doing this. You'll feel like you failed. But that means you're showing up. And showing up is the job. As a person who has sync placements and still chasing sync placements, I want to tell you that this matters when you're getting into sync licensing. Yes, sync does care about the perfect track as it fits to the visual, but they also care about equally, if not sometimes more importantly, do you finish music? Do you hit deadlines? Do you build a catalog over time? That is important because for them, consistency in a composer wins every time. Here's what people don't say enough about consistently having a day job. It helps you with your night job. Having your day job will allow you to have some stability, some patience. It gives you money to reinvest into your craft. It allows you to grow without panicking. You're not desperate for money or anything. You're building. And that's a stronger position to be in. Success doesn't mean that I'm going to quit my main job and do this full time. Success might mean, hey, I finished more music than I've ever done in my life. I got my first placement or my first royalty check. Maybe I became more confident in the sound that I'm producing. Those are all wins. Those are all successful things. Don't rush past those. If you could take away anything that you've heard today, let it be this. You don't need permission to move slowly. You don't need to rush the process. And you don't need to quit your night job because things feel too stressful or you're too overwhelmed. Maybe you just need structure and figure out how to show up consistently. All right, next time, let's sit down. Let's create a weekly music schedule, one that we can actually use after a full workday without burning out. If this resonated with you, go ahead and give it a like and a follow. If you know somebody making music after work, go ahead and share this with them as well. Until next time, let's get to work. And as always, trust your process. Don't quit your night job.